Long before colonial powers redrew the map of Africa, West Africa stood as a beacon of intellectual, cultural, and spiritual brilliance. From the scholarly libraries of Timbuktu to the sophisticated leadership structures of the Mali and Songhai empires, the region cultivated a legacy of education, governance, and scientific inquiry that rivaled any in the ancient world. This essay explores how West Africa once led the world in knowledge, leadership, and cosmic understanding, and how its treasures, like the Timbuktu manuscripts, are being preserved and digitized for future generations. Education before colonization. Book centers of learning. West Africa's educational systems were deeply rooted in oral tradition, apprenticeship, and community mentorship. But they also included formal institutions, most famously the University of Timbuktu, a collective of scholarly centers based in the Sankore, Jingareber, and Sidi Yahya mosques. Sankore University was established in the 12th century and flourished under Mansa Musa's reign in the 14th century. It housed one of the largest libraries in Africa with up to 700,000 manuscripts and educated over 25,000 students. 3 subjects included theology, law, astronomy, medicine, mathematics, and philosophy. Brain pedagogical excellence. Students studied under multiple scholars, often in mosque courtyards or private homes. Upon graduation, they received an ijaza, a certification to teach specific texts. Timbuktu scholars were respected across North Africa and the Middle East. Leadership and governance. Crown empires of influence. West Africa was home to powerful empires with sophisticated political systems. Ghana Empire, c. 700 to 1200, known for its wealth and trade networks. Mali Empire, circa 1235 to 1670, under Mansa Musa, it became a cultural and economic powerhouse. Songhai Empire, circa 1464 to 1591, expanded Timbuktu's scholarly reputation and centralized governance. Compass leadership styles. Consensus-based councils in Igbo and Yoruba societies emphasized collective decision-making. Divine kingship in Ashanti and Mali linked rulers to spiritual authority. Restorative justice systems focused on reconciliation rather than punishment. Ancient astronomy and scientific thought. Milky Way cosmic knowledge. West African scholars had a profound understanding of the stars and their movements. The Dogon people of Mali described the invisible companion star of Sirius, Sirius B, centuries before modern telescopes confirmed its existence. Manuscripts documented lunar calendars, meteor showers, and seasonal cycles used for agriculture and ritual. Scroll Timbuktu's astronomical texts. Many manuscripts contained astrological charts, observations of celestial events, calculations for prayer times and festivals. This knowledge was not just scientific, it was spiritual, guiding both daily life and sacred practice. The Timbuktu manuscripts, a legacy rescued. Fire threatened by conflict. During the Mali War, 2012 to 2013, Timbuktu's cultural heritage was under siege. Militants burned or stole over 4,000 manuscripts. But thanks to the heroic efforts of preservationists like Dr. Abdul Qadir Haidara, over 350,000 manuscripts were smuggled to safety in Bamako. Floppy disk digitization efforts. Organizations like SavamaDCI, the Hill Museum and Manuscript Library (HMML), and Google Arts and Culture have partnered to digitize these treasures. Over 150,000 manuscripts have been photographed and archived. The Mali Magic Project by Google has made 40,000 pages publicly accessible online. These efforts ensure that the manuscripts, some dating back to the 13th century, are preserved for global study and appreciation. Brain what the manuscripts contain. Islamic theology and jurisprudence. Secular works on astronomy, medicine, and diplomacy. Poetry, ethics, and occult sciences. Translations of Plato, Hippocrates, and Avicenna. These texts reveal a civilization deeply engaged with the world, intellectually, spiritually, and scientifically. Cultural legacy and global impact. Artist palette art and architecture. Mudbrick mosques like the Great Mosque of Jen are architectural marvels. Bronze sculptures from Benin and textiles like Kent and Bagolanfini reflect cosmological beliefs and social identity. Globe showing Europe-Africa trade and diplomacy. West Africa's empires were connected to Europe, the Middle East, and Asia through trade in gold and salt, manuscripts and ideas, cultural practices and spiritual beliefs. Person lotus position medium darkskin own spiritual systems. Indigenous religions integrated. Astronomy and nature reverence. ancestor worship and ethical codes, rituals that honored cosmic cycles. West Africa's ancient civilizations were not passive recipients of history, they were active architects of human advancement. Their contributions to education, leadership, and astronomy challenged the myth of a continent awaiting Western enlightenment. The rescue and digitization of the Timbuktu manuscripts is more than a preservation effort, it's a reclamation of identity, a revival of memory, and a reminder that Africa's intellectual legacy is vast, vibrant, and vital. As the world rediscovers these treasures, we must also reframe our understanding of civilization itself. West Africa was not on the margins, it was the center. And through the breadth of its manuscripts, the rhythm of its stars, and the wisdom of its leaders, it still speaks.